Hey guys, sorry it's been a minute since I put out some Overwatch content. I've been getting sucked into this great new experience that's taken up my whole month called Trombone Simulator. But I'm here, I've bought the sequel, I was really surprised that they lowered the price.
But it's free.
What do you mean? The topic of Overwatch overall quality has been discussed to death, and as someone who's been playing nearly since day one, I can't imagine my voice adds much to the discussion, except the same white noise from people who have too many opinions about video games, especially stupid ones such as this. While Overwatch has been a cultural landmark in the gaming scene, its largest contribution has been the amount of 3D porn released by incredibly talented perverts. For a game boasting a militarily charged framework and politically twisted backstory, Overwatch doesn't speak much of anything when it comes to a greater moral or lesson, unless you consider the very convoluted message, war is bad. Ergo, war games are bad. For all the games of the last 6 years, the standout ones have usually been accompanied by a higher purpose of storytelling, or to sum it up in a way casual gamers can understand, a fucking moral of some sort. Revenge doesn't serve a true purpose to the self. The lives of many are worth more than the values of a single person. And my personal favorite, people will forego their own well-being to spite others. All of these games speak to a constant theme through their story, and while Overwatch doesn't actually have a story, the possibility of one has been teased since before its release. We've gotten quick snippets over the years in the form of mini-campaigns, but as soon as they were over, then it was another waiting game. The identity of Overwatch 2 used to be tied to a campaign that would reportedly knock our socks off. But as of writing this, my socks remain unknocked, and my feet remain warm and cozy, because the campaign isn't fucking here yet. Overwatch 2's release has been less of a release and more of Blizzard's attempt to rush their half-finished product out the door so we stop asking for it. I don't know exactly when I started to notice the decline of this game, but the announcement that they were planning to kill one tank player from every team in the Overwatch League certainly made me anxious. Especially since I'm a big fan of guys like XQC. I'm a huge admirer of pro players that don't speak English. I know that language barrier would be a huge detriment for the Overwatch League, but he doesn't let it affect him. The old, now dated model of a team-based hero shooter that necessitated working together and coordinating your attacks has been revolutionized into a brawler where you can easily fuck off wherever you want for the duration of the match, since every character has their own survival kit. Where grouping together was rewarded, we now have a situation where every player on a team can leave spawn to go in a different direction with their own plan in mind, and somehow end up winning the game. It's reminiscent of playing Team Slayer in Halo. No one's working together, there's no cohesion, you just run around the map firing rapidly at anything that moves while occasionally someone steps near enough the payload for it to trundle forwards. The team aspect of this game has been scooped out in favor of one-minded play, where a single player can actually carry the game because of the buffs across the board, and the fact that the opposite team has 500 less health to act as a meat shield against the Roadhog on your team that seems to think he's playing Doom. The free-to-play model has seen the removal of one of the kindest loot box systems in the gaming world and replaced it with the dreaded Battle Pass. Yeah! So now, instead of paying $60 for a game and getting cosmetic rewards for actually playing it, you fork over $10 a month for the chance to win these colorful, useless, sometimes awful outfits. Take the mythic Genji skin. The thing they said took them a year to make, but it's full of customizations. Look at all these customizations. Doesn't it just look so different to how it looked a second ago? No, it fucking doesn't. And before anyone asks, yes, I understand the profit difference between buying a game once that you play forever and a subscription service. I certainly understand why Blizzard made this decision.
What inspired you to build a second Krusty Krab right next door to the original?
But given its player-friendly model that we appreciated for 6 years and gave them a lot of credibility, sweeping the rug out from under us only to begin turning the game into a new World of Warcraft has left me pissed off. In fact, a lot of people I usually play with have a similar opinion. Natalie, what do you think of Overwatch 2? I gave Overwatch the benefit of the doubt for 6 years because there was actually 3 years of fantastic gameplay and additions to be had. New characters every 3 months, new maps added regularly, as well as a fluid meta to keep things interesting. For the 3 years that we got nothing from the game, I was happy to coast on the continual dopamine it brought me whenever I heard that distinctive clink of the critical hit sound. They earned themselves the benefit of the doubt. But now, we get to see what we spent 3 years waiting for, and it is a huge disappointment. In the time it would have taken them to produce at least 10 new heroes, we get to grovel for the 3 they're handing over. Even as the disparity between DPS and other less important roles has remained a considerable issue for the game's lifespan, they're still pushing a DPS-centric model. Worst of all is that the campaign we've been waiting years for isn't actually a campaign. It's an episodic release of short stories that you'll have to keep waiting for, since we know these stories have no chance of taking more than half an hour to complete. This is the most egregious addition, in my opinion. Waiting 3 years for a story that we're told is coming, and it will be everything we've waited for, only for Blizzard to roll out a red carpet for an event that will last an afternoon. They've decided to chop what would be weeks of excited play for even the fastest players into a year-long waiting game as they tease their next evening of fun. How unsure of yourselves do you have to be to delay the release of something you've been working on for years by this much? It's not even releasing it with the rest of the game. The game's not even releasing finished. It's early access. When does the game actually come out? What else? Let's see. Major wait times to get into the game, people with prepaid phone numbers aren't able to log in, the legendary skins on offer fucking suck fucking sick and fucking balls. They cost 20 real life dollars, new players have to wait 55 levels before unlocking Kiriko, the biggest addition to maps, it's daytime now! The loss of Hanamura and Anubis, two of the best games in the map, don't fucking come for me. 2CP was the shit, I don't give a fuck how many high skilled players are out there being like, oh, I hate 2CP, they go on forever, it always said, I'm in fucking gold at best, silver most of the time. Do you know how many maps I had on 2CP that ended in a draw? Not many! A ping system that no one will use, a battle pass too many people will use, they killed off an entire tank, and these stupid, soulless weapon charms and victory poses. Why is it in his hand? Why is she holding a robot hand? Why? After all this waiting, it's hard to get excited when so much greed pervades this game. The hoarding of skins, the free-to-play model's inherent hostility to consumers, locking almost everything behind a battle pass that is neither enticing nor fair. Why not grind all day, every day for 3 months just for a chance to unlock a mythic skin? While I might play this game and enjoy it at times, I can't justify interacting with any of its reward systems, and at this point, I'm all out of goodwill. Especially after all the sexual harassment allegations, holy fuck. I think it's time to move on and try to enjoy the backlog of games that I've yet to finish due to the lack of time needed to delve into their deep stories and complex mechanics. Or because they're way too hard. I'm looking at you, Vox Populi Vox Day 2.